Welcome back to my channel. In today's sewing tutorial, I will show you how to cut a gathered skirt with scallop. It's going to be a cutting and stitching tutorial. If that's what you like to learn, continue watching. So the illustration, what I have here is a dartless band, and also I have just one design of scallop, just one design. You can make this to be two, and the lower part has been gathered, as you can see. So this is what we're going to make the upper side now. For me to make this, I have my pattern paper folded into two like this. This will be for the front and this will be for the back. First thing I'm going to do is to mark a straight line, and this straight line will serve as the waistline. So you go ahead and mark that. Note that I'm drafting on a half scale, but the measurement I'm going to give you is for full scale. I hope you understand. So first thing I'm going to do is to mark the waistline to the hip line. Measure from the smallest part of your waistline to the largest part of your hip line, whatever that is. You're going to impute that here, and that will be your hip line. I'll go ahead and square this line out. In my own case, it is 8 inches, so this is what I'm squaring out. Remember, this is for the front and back, so this is the center front and the center back. So next thing I'm going to get is the circumference of the waistline. Take round your waistline, whatever that is, divide it by 4, and you're going to mark it here. Also on the hip line, you're going to take the largest part of, round the largest part of your hip line, and whatever you get, divide that by 4 and mark it here. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these two lines using my hip curve. Next, I'm going to make the design of the scallop. So from the hip line like this, I'm going to get the bust span divided by 2. Bust span is the measurement from one end of your nipple to the other, whatever that is. Divide that by 2, and you're going to mark it here. You can as well go ahead and make it, add 1 inch to that, so that the scallop will be wide. But as you can see, mine is not that wide. So after squaring this out, next I'm going to come down from the hip line. I'm going to come down 1/2 inch, and I'm going to mark it here like this. And then on the hip line, I'm going to go up by 2 inches. Remember, this is a design line, so you can decide to make any design of your choice. And on this line, I'm going to come down 5 inches, and I'm going to mark this. Next, I'll go ahead and make the curve for the scallop. So I'm going to curve this here and also curve this way. Next, on the waistline for the front, I'm going to come down 1 inch so that the waistline will sit properly. I'll go ahead and connect this to the side seam, as you can see me do. So this will be for the front and this will be for the back. I'll go ahead and cut this out. Remember, I'm cutting the front and the back at the same time, so I'll go ahead and separate this so that the back pattern will be separate and the front will be separate. I'll go ahead and trim off the 1 inch I curved out on the waistline for the front. So I'll label this front so that it's not confusing, because as you can see, they look alike. And for the back, remember, this is the zipper allowance. So on this side, I'm going to come in 1/2 inch here so that the back will sit properly at the waistline on the back. Go ahead and connect this line like this to make a kind of dart. I'll cut this out because this part is no longer needed. So go ahead and trim that off. So our pattern is ready for the waistline. So this is the back and this is the front. For the back, I'm going to cut 2 pieces for the back, and for the front I'm going to cut this one unfold. Remember, this is the center front unfold. Next, we are going to go ahead and cut the lower part of the gathered side. There are 2 methods that you can use. First one is you can slash this and make a slash and spread. This is one method. And then the next method, and which is the easiest one that I like to always use when I'm making my scallop, is the one I'm going to show you. So how you're going to do that is you're going to note the length of the skirt. So full length of the skirt, and we're going to minus the upper part, the fitted part. So what the full length of the skirt I'm using is 28 inches, and from the waistline to the hip line is 8 inches, right? We are going to minus the 1 inch on the side, or 2 inches on the side. Remember, we removed that, so I'm going to minus that, which is 6. So full length of the skirt, which is 28 inches minus 6, which will give us 22, and plus sewing allowance, so that will be for the length. Next, we are going to determine the width of the skirt. So you're going to take your hip circumference. Remember, it is on fold, so you're going to make your tape like this, which is on fold. Whatever you have, you're going to times that by 4. Remember to add joining allowance to that. Next, I've gone ahead and cut out this, and I've added sewing allowance to the upper side of the skirt. As you can see, I'm going to cut 2 pieces of this, so this is what I have here as my 2 pieces. So just watch what I'm going to do. This is how the shape of the scallop is looking. I'm going to place this like this and go to my machine now, and I'm going to sew the scallop. You sew 1/2 inch on the scallop like this. So this is it. After sewing it, you're going to go ahead and notch this. Make sure you just notch close to where you have sewn. Make sure not to cut your thread. This will make the scallop to sit properly. I'll go ahead and turn this over, and I'm going to iron it. So I'll go to my ironing table now and iron this. After ironing it, this is how it's looking. Very neat, right? So the next thing is for us to make the lower part, the gathered part. This is the gathered part. I have hemmed the lower part and overlocked this. I'll go to my machine now, and I'm going to gather this. This is it after gathering it. Remember to overlock this before gathering. So I'm going to place this like this. Can you see what I'm doing? Align this properly like this, and I'm going to go ahead and pin this, making sure I overlap the edges with 1/2 inch, because I added 1/2 inch sewing allowance to that. So I'm going to place it like this and pin it down. After securing it, I'll go to my machine and sew it at the tips as I'm showing you. This is it after sewing it, and this is the back. Can you see? You can actually stop here, but for me, I'm going to go further to make this neater. So what I'm going to do is I will repeat the first step on how I made the upper side of the skirt with another fabric, and that's what I have here. So I'm going to make this will now be the front, and this will be the back. So on the front side of the skirt, I'm going to place this band on it like this, and you can decide to top stitch it again if you want to, or you can decide to leave it like that. So whichever way. Yeah, see the back, very neat. So you do the same thing to the back. Guys, we have come to the end of today's sewing tutorial. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.